All right, guys, here we are with another video. This time I've brought a pamphlet, another pamphlet. This one is 9 pages of bogus baloney, all for you guys to listen to. But what it is entitled is the 69 Mars Laws. And I've made this video on purpose to help Elon Musk with his colonization of space, the moon, and eventually Mars. But anyway, the reason why I made this, and again, I didn't make it like the other guys make it. You know, they go through a whole system and they publish books. But I can't make the art of a deal. I can't make, what was the other one? Choose your enemies wisely, or whatever it is, because I don't have billions of dollars in my pocket that I could just dish out and do these things. All I have is these very small means of sending a bunch of crap into the black hole that is the internet, and then seeing what pops up from there. But yeah, I basically put together some simple laws, and again, these are policies from the left, the right, and the middle, that should really be universal at this point. And I know that some of them, you guys are going to say, you're a communist, but I'm not a communist. I would just like to see a utopian existence. And again, it may be too late for planet Earth, because we are no longer on Earth. We are, as I always say, living on Pluto, where the plutocrats do whatever they want, right? Whoever has the most spending power will always win. And that is why some people were able to break the system and bring back a law that was already fixed, basically a problem that was already fixed. There was never going to be another issue between men and women, right? There was never going to be, because it was already a problem that was fixed. But one guy was able to bring inequality to women. Anyway, so for all that people talk about Donald and stuff, saying that he's amazing, isn't he? But he didn't fix any problems when he was in power. He broke more things than he fixed, right? He helped the ultra rich get richer, and he basically killed equality for women. So that's what he is best known for. That is his legacy. We'll see what happens. Again, we might have Kamala Harris, or we might have Trump. Again, this is not a who you should vote for video, although you know how I feel about this. But this is something about how can we make a better utopian world, possibly on the moon, possibly in orbit, possibly on Mars someday, because we know we're not fixing Earth. Earth is Pluto, where plutocrats rule. So there we are. I wanted to do like a start to this whole thing so you guys know where I'm coming from. I am a capitalist. There may be some ideology here that might sound a little bit communist, but it's not communist. It's just common sense, because we're heading into a world where artificial intelligence, basically, and all these new computer systems are going to take over like so many jobs. So when Andrew Yang came there and he said universal basic income, there's no getting away from that. And again, as I said before, universal basic income should be given in forms such as Bitcoin and food stamps, and ways to buy clothing, ways to have towns that are self-programmed so that they basically are self-sustaining. Everything is run by robots, but that you can put homeless into these places so that, there's healthcare, there's all kinds of stuff. And we can take care of these people, because they're going to be displaced from jobs and there's no going back. So what are you going to do in the meantime between, not having a job and finding a job? If you're in the wilderness, if you've been thrown back into the street, it's bad for you. You might go back onto drugs. You might end up being run over, because where do these people always hang out? They get abused because they shouldn't be in front of the grocery store where you're eating, where you're buying food and stuff. They're like causing problems in the traffic. They're at the end of the highways. When you're getting out of the highway, they could get run over. So they shouldn't be in these places. Those are not the places where homeless should be. And if you don't have towns and things that are set up to host these people, it's just going to be a crap show. And again, so many people are going to be displaced, and if we don't have a structure for this to be settled, it's going to really lead to all kinds of horrible things. And again, as I always say, as somebody who is unemployable, and I have nothing to offer the homeless myself, so I always feel bad when I see homeless, because there's literally nothing I can give them. And if I was to give them $1, it wouldn't be my money. And if I was to give them $1, it wouldn't help them anyway, because it would just keep their condition going and going and going. We need systems, right? If they're on drugs, to get them off drugs. If they're unemployed, to get them back into the system and become part of the community once again. And that is not something that I can do or I am equipped to do. So every time I run into a homeless, I'm just like, I'm sorry, dude, I've got nothing for you. We need to have these things in place, and it needs to be a governmental thing, because we're taxed to death anyway, especially in broken cities like run cities by Democrats where I live. I live in California. We're taxed to death. We're taxed on everything. So this should be a non-existent problem, especially here. Now, if you go to a red state and there's this kind of problem, okay, that's understandable. They don't pay enough taxes, blah, blah, blah. We don't have enough money. But if you're living in a blue state, this should not be a problem, because we are taxed to death. So our taxes are just not being spent correctly. We're not taking care of the problem. And that's where we are today. That's how I feel about it. And I think that most people feel about this as well, especially Democrats, who are like, we're dishing out all this cash. Every time we go to the store, we're paying taxes. Every time we go to a restaurant, we're paying taxes. Every time we do some car maintenance, we're being taxed on stuff. We change out our tires. There's a maintenance tax on the tires. Basically, you have to get rid of the tires, dispense of them. We're being taxed on that. Oil change, and it just goes on and on and on and on. So this is not something that we can take care of as individuals, and obviously the church isn't going to take care of this problem either, and we've seen that it doesn't work. It's a problem that is so big, and especially because of AI and automation and all that stuff, it's just going to get worse. So if we don't take care of it with these 69 laws, it's just not going to be saved. It's just not going to be functional or fixed. So that's where I stand with this. Now, in the next video, I will actually go through the entire list and let you guys know what is going on with these 69 Mars laws. So thank you for watching this pre-video to that video, and I will see you soon. Take care, guys.